Hey everybody, welcome to another Fun in 5. Going to bring to you today a game by Stonemaier Games. It's called Wingspan. I'm sure you've heard of it. It's very, very popular and helps reach a different audience that maybe other games didn't reach in the past. But what is it that I like about Wingspan? What is it the family likes? Well, let's talk about it. There's 5 things I'm going to bring to you today. The first one is about component quality. Now, Stonemaier Games is well known for component quality, whether it is Scythe or whether it is Tapestry or this game. Any game they make, they really put components at the top of their must-do list, regardless of how the game plays. So I'll share some images on the screen here, but everything from these awesome little eggs that almost reminds you of Cadbury eggs you could eat, but don't, trust me. They look really, really cool. The tokens, they do what tokens do, but they do look nice. They've got a nice graphic on them. This birdhouse here is fantastic. I'll do a close-up of that. The wooden dice with the corners, really, really nice to see that. And the cards are fine. There's a bit of a linen finish to them, I believe. Yep. And the boards, the boards are a nice fold-out. I actually used a similar board for Legends of Novus. This board here is a fold-out board and just looks like something you might throw in your backpack. So the quality of the components is absolutely fantastic. There's tons of cards, tons of eggs, tons of content, so you really get a bang for your buck if you're thinking of what kind of components am I getting for my dollar. But you want a game to do more than that, so what else makes it fun? The next thing is about engine building. So this game here really does have mechanics in it that allow you to grow your board over time. Everybody gets their own individual player board, and as they acquire birds, they build up abilities on their birds and chain effects that allow them to do more with each type of bird. And it's this engine building which makes the game fun and makes you want to come back and understand it more and more. And you can have different types of engines, so it's got replayability because you might one time build an engine about making eggs, another time you might build an engine about drawing cards or trying to accomplish different missions. So the engine building behind it, you wouldn't think a game about birds would be about engine building, but it truly is. So if you want a taste of that, this has a good fun aspect to that. The next one is about action selection. So not only are you building engines, but each turn you only get to pick a certain number of actions to do. You get these little cubes that you use, and you get fewer cubes as the game progresses. In most games, as the game progresses, you get more actions and more abilities, but in this game, as the game progresses, you get fewer and fewer cubes, so your actions become more and more important. As you watch time go on and see what your opponents are doing, you really have to decide what is the most important action right now. Is it playing a bird? Is it drawing cards? Is it reorganizing different things on my board? There's a lot of things that you can do in this game, and the action selection and then the kind of the diminishing returns of it can be fun because you can really try to strategize around that. Next thing I like about it is that it interests non-gamers. That's one of the things that makes this game so fun, is the calm visuals and the different kind of atmosphere that it brings to gaming. Many board games, including the ones I've designed, are about fantasy and swords and about magic or space. This game is about birds. So bird lovers, I'm sure have an interest in this game, but even people that aren't bird lovers that just see the game and think, oh, that looks kind of neat. What's that? It's a game you can teach your mom or your grandma or your sister or your brother or your cousin, anybody who might have an interest in birds or just a different atmosphere. It doesn't feel so far away from the real world, and it can draw them in. So I really like that aspect of it. And it can be fun. Just reading about the different kinds of birds that exist and seeing how this tableau builds together can be really, really fun as well. All right. And the fifth thing that we'll talk about for fun in this game is just kind of the resource management that you have. Because you have a multitude of different types of resources, but every one of them is used in different ways, whether it's the cards that you have in your hand or at your disposal, because you need to have cards in order to play birds. So that's important, whether it's the tokens that you acquire, the mice or the grain or the cherries. You have to have certain types to be able to acquire certain birds or attract certain birds. Whether it's the eggs that you have on your board, because the eggs matter to be able to go further along on your engine building, but at the same time, they're worth points at the end of the game. So you're sacrificing points for growth. So it's really cool to see how the resource management in this game works. And again, reminds me of many other Stonemaier games. They always have a way to make it feel like everything that you get in the game is important, because it is. And that can be a fun part. And it takes a while for some of the newer gamers to understand how all that works together. But once they do, I think it's a great gateway game, because just understanding those resources and watching it on this tableau and being able to have it all in this kind of environment is really cool and fun. So hopefully you have a chance, if you haven't already, to play Wingspan one day. I think it's a fun game for families, or even for your gaming group, because it offers something different that you don't see in many games. Take care.